All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is a quick video tutorial on how to prep your draft 3 for saving and submission to me after you've completed your draft 2. So you either brought your paper copy of your draft into class and we sat down and we workshopped it. Or if you didn't bring that in on time, you were responsible to go and find your own and actually get some feedback on that thing. Um, so you should have in front of you a stack of papers that have feedback on them, where people have looked over it and given you some suggestions on how to improve your paper. And you are going to make some changes to that. And I will show you right here how to make the changes using footnotes. It's a little bit tricky, especially if you've never done it before. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. It's the harder part is figuring out exactly what it is you're going to write. So here's a submission that Blair Maynard made a little while ago. This is from the Cask of Amontillado, and I will show you the procedure for making some of these changes and what am I saying? What am I saying? And oh yeah, putting the footnotes in. So on one of the pieces of on one of the drafts that he got, some of the feedback was to change some of the grammar and also usage. So, for example, in this first sentence, the dark side of human nature is referring to our negative attributes, comma, hate and revenge are just some examples of these negative human natures. So in this first sentence, there's a couple of things that need to change. For example, he says is referring, and that's an example of using to be when it's really not necessary. So I'm going to change it to just a simple action verb of refers to. But here's how you go ahead and do that. So I've highlighted what I'm going to change. Now I copy it by going Control C. All right. And I am going to go ahead now and change that to refers. And I will leave my cursor right there because that's where I want the footnote to be. And I come on up here to insert, go down to footnote, and then I go paste. Right? So down here it tells me what it was, and the footnote tells me what I changed. So now when I'm reading it as your teacher, I can see that when I come to refers, I can know that, oh, you've made a change there. I'm going to come down here to see what it was before. There's another one right here. Blair was notorious for giving me, I think this is called a comma splice. This is really two sentences, this right here, but he joins them with the comma right here. But the reason he did that is because he saw that they were so connected that he didn't think of them as two separate sentences. That's the perfect place to put a semicolon. So again, I copy what was there. I change it to a semicolon, oops, not a colon, a semicolon. Got to put a space right there. And now move back one space and I go to insert footnote and I paste the comma. Okay? So it's relatively straightforward. Again, the tricky part is really knowing what to write. When all you're doing is changing something, it's easy. Like for example here, he has misspelled Amontillado. So I go copy, I go Amontillado, and then I go insert footnote, and I paste what it was he wrote. Now there's a little bit of trickiness. For example, there are times where you cut things out. So if I were to do that here, I would say, okay, let's say maybe I don't like this sentence at all. It's just not really necessary after I've kind of figured out, it doesn't add a whole lot to the story. So I'm going to go copy. I'm going to go backspace. And then once again, I will go up here to insert footnote. I will write cut, colon, and then I will paste what it is I cut. You see that? You would do the exact same thing if you added something. Let's say the feedback you got was you were short on feedback. excuse me, not feedback. You were short on evidence. So you find some additional evidence, you paste it in there, and then and down here below in the footnote, you would simply write that you added evidence. Now, one last thing before you turn it in. If you look down here, this looks a little bit goofy. Footnotes are supposed to be kind of small and off to the side. So what you want to do before you finally turn it in is paste all of this, or not paste, highlight all of this stuff, and you're going to make it really small. Okay, make it as small as it can get. Times and 8. Same thing here. Times and 8. And same thing here. Times and 8. And now it just looks far more uniform down here. Okay, final piece is, remember, Mr. Scott likes Times New Roman, so you go Control A for all, you go to Times New Roman, and you make it 12 point. And that's it. Remember, you don't need to bring in a paper copy of Draft 3. You simply need to have it on Google Docs. If you do yours in Word or some other program, I need you to copy it in Google Docs and then share it with me. The way you do that is you go up here to the Share button, and then you type in bsscott@gmail.com. Not bscott@heritagepeak.com. Please don't do that. I can't see it with my school email. It's going to naturally make it so I can edit. If you're a little bit finicky and you don't like the idea of me really, if you think I'm going to accidentally delete your paper or something like that, you can change it to comment. I won't mind, but please make sure it's edit or comment. If all I can do is view, I can't give you any feedback. And then you press send. You don't really need to write anything in the notes for me. All right, that is it for this video. Good luck, and remember, you guys, your revision is only as good as your feedback. So those of you who sat in class, if some of your feedback is really not that useful, you do get extra points for going out there and getting additional feedback. All right, thanks very much.